The Mandalorian Season 2 debuts this Friday, which if you're watching this live, that means we're 2 days away. If you're watching or listening to this from a week, you're late. Go watch the damn show. The Mandalorian and the child continue their journey facing enemies and rallying allies as they make their way through the dangerous galaxy in this tumultuous era after the collapse of the Galactic Empire. The series will continue to use industry revolutionary technology like the volume. Many rumors have fans filled with anticipation about which character or characters may or may not appear on screen. Again, The Mandalorian debuts October 30th. I want to open it up with this. What is the importance of this season? What is the importance of this season when we think about the casual Star Wars fan? Why does everyone need to be plugged in with what's happening on this show? Arzu, I want to start with you and talk to me about maybe how it being a standalone story is a big payoff.
So I think it was a payoff in the first season because it's standalone. It's not like jumping into Rebels where it really helps if you've seen Clone Wars first. You can just start. If you've seen the movies, you can just jump into Mando and start watching. So I think that was a really big benefit in season 1. And then now going forward in season 2, now that they've got us all hooked, now they're starting to work in those bigger story elements, like maybe Bo-Katan, maybe Ahsoka, Rex, all of them. So they're starting to work it in. So if you want to know where those characters are going, if you know who they are, then this is the place to be. If you don't know who they are, what a way to meet them. So for either like the casual fan or the TV fan, it's all coming together in Mando now. Plus, why wouldn't you want to see Baby Yoda every week?
Well, I think that's
everywhere.
That's a really great point. And there's a lot of people who believe that the baby, the child, is going to be captured at some point along this second season. And I think the child is what brings in a lot of the casual fans with this series. And I think so does the visual effects. I'll talk about that in a second. But Pete, I think it's really important that season 2, we want to make sure that season 1 didn't make the series a one-hit wonder, right? Like we want this, we want to show consistency with the second season.
Yeah, I think that to me is one of the most important things about Mandalorian season 2 is it's an opportunity to show that they can hit back-to-back home runs. I think it's a situation where because of the COVID situation, creating monster blockbuster films, a lot of those are all pushed out right for a while. It also means that there's an opportunity to build more Star Wars in Disney Plus in this environment on the small screen. And I think this season will tell us if it's something that can be consistently done, if it's something that was in fact a one-hit wonder, or if Disney Plus is a valid place to continue to tell Star Wars stories. I think things like Clone Wars and Rebels, those are for hardcore fans. Not to discount them at all, but my dad, who I always use as sort of the average Star Wars fan, didn't watch that. It was not his thing. He didn't go to that depth. But Mandalorian, he watches. So can Mandalorian continue to tell stories that work in this environment?
It's interesting. I had to spend yesterday at home, and I rewatched the entire first season. And I got to tell you, from start to finish, like as a whole story, man, it weaves so well. And I didn't expect that because we always talk about how we had so many directors on that first season. But it is a freaking masterpiece. It's like a 3.5-hour, 4-hour movie.
Yep.
It's really awesome. And to your point too, Pete, and Arzu as well, it was a blast this week because we had Pedro Pascal, Giancarlo Esposito get on Good Morning America and start kind of talking about their excitement for season 2. Something that Pedro Pascal talked about, which we have on our website right now at beyondtheblastdoors.com, is the excitement he had and the comfort he gained by reading the first script for season 2.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is this action sequence early on in this first episode, and it told him, this isn't the verbatim, but essentially he thought to himself, wow, they are going to top themselves from season 1. They were able to have success, and because of the volume and because of the vision and the people they have involved in the project, Mandalorian, what they wrote down on paper, is what you see on screen.
Yep.
And there is something that happens early on in season 2 that's going to do that and more, which I think is a big victory for fans. And I think that we can all appreciate the fact that what drives The Mandalorian isn't the effects, isn't the that secondary stuff. Like, it's definitely like story driven first. Do you two feel that way? Arzu, do you feel that way, that Mandalorian is something that's story driven and then everything else is just kind of gravy on top?
Yeah, I think my concern before season 1 was that it wouldn't be, and that it would be effects driven, and doesn't this look cool? But the fact that it's character, it's heart, it's story that's really driving the series, I think that was an unexpected surprise, and it's nice to hear that that's going to continue in season 2.
And I don't want to say this like I'm slamming the graphic, the special effects.
No,
I love them,
no,
and
no, no.
especially you know Shannon. We love Shannon, and that's Shannon's niche. She plays in that world quite a bit. Not slamming like that, but I think some of the critique of the sequel trilogy has been not story first mentality. Pete, am I going off the rail here? Do you agree, disagree with what we're saying?
I think you're 100% right, and I think actually the other thing that I took from Pedro's comments was I think. And I think Arzu said this on when we all watched the trailer together. I think we've only seen scenes from episode 1. I feel like we're going to see that troop transport crashing into the wall and the jumping of the scout trooper, the speeder bikes. I think that's all episode 1, and I think it's going to be full of action top to bottom.
And I like that you guys mentioned that too. For the other point that I kind of feel like that's a recent strategy. Maybe it's not a recent strategy. They've probably been doing this with film for a long time. But remember when we got those looks at the Rise of Skywalker, it turned out a lot of what we saw was in like the first 5 minutes of the Rise of Skywalker. There was a lot of movie that we didn't get to see.
Well, and add to that the fact that, and we've seen it all over Twitter, they are not sharing preview copies of any episodes with any of the press, which you either do if A, your film sucks, and I don't believe that that's the case, or B, there's a lot of stuff you don't want leaking, and I like to believe that that's what this is about. They're holding back. Think about it this way: we haven't seen Ahsoka, we haven't seen Rex, we haven't seen Boba Fett, but we've heard about it. Those of us in this hardcore echo chamber of fans have heard about it, and we're excited for that. But we still haven't seen it. So we still have that to look forward to. So there's going to be some big secrets, I think, over the 8 episodes.
I think we're in for a lot of fun. And I listen, if what we've seen is all from, let's say, the first episode or 2, well, then my goodness, we're in store. And of course, there's a lot of rumors about characters that could appear and might not appear. But I'm just ready for Friday morning for us to be able to open up Disney Plus on our phone or on the big screen and just dive back into this world, because as big as that world kind of feels, that first season is very intimate, but I think that we're about to get launched into the greater galaxy here with season 2. I've really got a feeling about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm alone or not. I'm kind of hoping we get a little bit more rebellion play. But hey,
you know what? New Republic by this point.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you. I stand corrected. The New Republic. Yes, the New Republic will be on guard.
Like?
But,
show us.
Yeah. I don't know. Something about Luke Skywalker and an X-wing fighter. I don't know. That's a joke. That's a rumor. That's not real. That's not a real thing. Let us know what you think. If you're watching live, be sure you let us know in the live chat. Catching us on the rewind, you can always comment down below to continue this Star Wars conversation.
Thank you for watching Beyond the Blast Doors. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Beyond the Blast Doors, a Star Wars conversation.